get this, and the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. So what did I mentioned a little bit last week, or last video? The people have a prince, and the prince has a people. Who on the planet wants the city? Who? Is there anybody else out there other than Muslims who look at that city as sacred? They want it. Everybody, if anybody, the whole world would acknowledge if Israel doesn't have it, then the Palestinians are going to have it, right? Nobody else would even contest that. So to sit and say these people of the prince are somebody else other than the Muslims over there that have even trampled down the city at times. Yes, they're the ones that are going to be trampling down the city. Why would you think that this is a different religion? The people of the prince. So the people have a prince, and the prince have a people.
So anybody who does not believe in Muhammad, the prophet, and Allah must be eradicated or killed. And so if you believe the Quran, then that is the direction that they're going to force you to go.
Yeah.
And this caliphate that they're working on, for that all the Islamic nations gather together, the next thing they will have after they all gather together is one supreme leader of the caliphate, an Islamic leader of the caliphate.
As I said in the last video, the people are only going to accept one type of prince. We're speaking of the little horn here, folks. This is who the prince is. If the people are Muslims and they're all Islamic, who is the prince? Some infidel? There's one preacher out there that tells you, wrote a book on it, that the Antichrist is going to be half computer and half human. Oh my God, I can't even. Does that make any sense if the religion is Islamic? No, not in the slightest. There are characteristics of things that we get to see. If you read Daniel, if you read Revelation, you can sit and see. You can go off and what the words of Jesus said. The people, when they kill you, they're going to be thinking they're doing God service. Jeremiah talked about how there's going to be strangers in the house of God. Strangers are in the house of the Lord. Who would be a stranger in the house of the Lord? Have you ever seen what Islam does to churches? They convert them or destroy them. There's so many things here, folks. There's so much stuff here that if you stop and take the time, you'll understand what you're dealing with. You just got to look at the two beasts. You got to look at their actions. You got to look at the little horn's actions. There was a person out there who really promoted it, and God shut the man up. He was one person I battled with all the time. He wound up hearing truth, and he still wanted to propagate and promote his belief to the masses. And that's wrong. Once you've heard truth, and you know that you're hearing truth, and you keep going, and there's some people out there, and you keep going because you have a book or a DVD, or you have a following, or you don't want to admit you're wrong, and you use the pulpit to keep going with something that you know you're probably wrong on, you've already entered the realm of sin. There's some big ministries that watch this channel. They'll never tell you that. They do. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into it. The little horn's it's not going to be Catholicism that beheads you, going to burn you up, catch you on fire, that's going to take your spoil away. Catholicism, there's people out there that say that. Take you into captivity, slaves. There's one religion that does this, that wants to change the times and the laws. And I've told you it's Sharia, and they're fine with the times that we're heading into. And when you understand that the actions of these people, you can get the religion, and it has nothing to do with the vaccine.
Any nation that did not have a radical Islamic leader, the leader would be replaced.
Like Egypt.
Like Egypt,
Yeah.
like Libya, now Syria, and it's going to continue to roll to where that every nation that is not radical in its Sharia law outlook, the leaders are going to be removed systematically.
So if we think for a moment, the leadership in America, that we can somehow join hands and be friends with this mentality, it's simply not possible.
It is not going to happen. It is not going to happen.
If you look at what's surrounding the mark, the Greek meaning of the word mark, what is that? Well, it means mark. It means mark. It also means stamp. It also means etching. It also means badge of servitude. It also means statue. When you look at all those meanings and you combine them together, you should understand exactly, if you want to pay attention to what ISIS did. They had on their right hand, in the form of a bandana, and on their forehead, they had both their image as well as the name. In some cases, they had both the image and the name on their bandanas, on their foreheads, folks, which is where I think we're going to be taking vaccines from now on, someday soon. I don't really know. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark on the right hand and forehead, that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So the mark or the name. Again, just look at the ISIS bandanas. And what was it? A badge of servitude. Their allegiance. See, this is why the mark takes away your salvation. Because when you did this and became a part of the Islamic State, you now acknowledged your service to Allah, which is what it looks like. It looks like, if you take a look at it, it looks almost like a snake, the Allah symbol. This little horn, at least in the second beast, promoting worship of the first, is going to say, you're either going to bow down and worship this or we're going to kill you. Do you know of anybody, could you imagine Catholicism or Buddhism or something like that telling you that's what you got to do? Do you know that Islam already bows down and basically points themselves towards, numerous times a day, towards Mecca, a cube? Do you know they already do that? Hello? And I guess that's some kind of a statue. Okay. It's an image. It's a statue. And they bow down and they worship it. That's the way they face. Now, this is what's going to happen here. And I don't see us all getting down and worshiping a syringe or some liquid statue thing that they're going to make, that they're going to put right here. And when you take it, it doesn't require manufacturing, doesn't require importing or exporting. It's a stamp. Put it right there. Probably make it maybe even a tattoo. It become an etching. Take a knife, go like this. It doesn't require anything, folks. This is the religion behind the beast.